Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Just a heads up, this is not going to be your typical hunting video, but before you click away, we're starting a new series. So buckle up and stay tuned because it's called Campfire Stories, and we're going to talk about different hunts that we went on and sitting around a campfire. I'm down here in my man cave by the wood stove. A little chilly day out, snow's on the ground. But I wanted to start the first episode talking about how hunting with a passion got started. And as you know, I'm Seth, and Jeremiah will also be coming on sharing a story from his childhood. But hunting with a passion got started back in 2021. I did not always hunt growing up. I did not come from a hunting family. My first dad, he hunted when he was younger. I believe he got a turkey when I was like 2. I have a picture of that. But he passed away when I was 3. My mom remarried. We moved from Tennessee to Florida, and not many people hunt that I know of in Florida. Now that I'm older, I know several people that hunt in Florida, but as a kid, I didn't. Most people fished. I lived in Pensacola, so most people fished. And then when I was 13, we moved to PA, and that was a whole different change. Most everybody I knew in PA at the time hunted and fished 365 days out of the year, pretty much, it seemed like. And I really, like, ever since I was probably like 8 or 9, I wanted to deer hunt. I grew up watching Primos hunting, and I was like, I want to do this. And so there's this older man in our church. I called him Grandpa Bud. He said, hey, you want to go hunt with me sometime? And I said, absolutely. So it was during the rifle season, and he had this shooting house, shooting tower, whatever you want to call it, and I watched him harvest a doe that day, and I was like, my heart was just about out of my throat. I was like beyond excited, and I was like, I want to do this. So the following spring, I signed up to take my hunter safety course, took it, and then I went out for rifle season the following year, and I had a doe come in, but I was so shaken up and nervous that I could not take the shot. So Grandpa Bud ended up shooting that deer. He made me gut it, and I learned how to process it and everything, and I'm like, I love this whole thing about it. Like, sign me up, I want to do it. And like I said, I had been watching Primos and stuff ever since I was a kid, and I told my brother he had nothing, he didn't want to hunt, but he liked playing with cameras and stuff at the time, and I'm like, hey, let's film everything. Let's make a DVD for our parents and grandparents and stuff at the end of the year. So we started filming everything. We put salt licks out in like February, and we filmed that. And then we did food plots in the late spring. We filmed that. We put cameras out, filmed that. And then that year I killed 2 doe during the junior rifle season in October. It was an antlerless season only. And he had this little point and shoot, I guess it was a Sony or something like that, little small camera. And he was on the deer, and I'm like, hey, you ready? And he's like, oh yeah, I'm ready. So I pulled the trigger, the gun went off, and it scared him so bad that he dropped the camera on the ground. Camera was fine. But those are the 2 deer that I harvested that year. We didn't get them on video. But our grandparents had fun laughing at it and enjoying the little DVD that we made. And self-filming started to become a thing the following year after that. And so I was like, I'm going to self-film because my brother went to college and stuff. So I still had that little camera, and I bought mounts for it and stuff for my tree stands. And I had just bought a crossbow that year. And I was excited to use it, and I had this doe coming in, and she was at 40 yards, and I was comfortable around 30. And so I was a dumb hunter. I didn't know anything what I was doing, and I like grunted, I can called, I did bleated, I did that. And this deer must have been as dumb as I was, because it didn't go anywhere. It just kept eating. Every time I called, it would look up and then go back to eating. But it wouldn't get any closer than 40 yards, and I was getting really upset about it, and I was about ready to take a 40-yard shot just to see what would happen. And all of a sudden, in my right, near the cornfield, there was this loud shaking of the bush, and this bush was looked like it was getting shredded to pieces. I'm like, what is that? I thought it was a squirrel, but I could see the antlers, and this little basket rack 9-point was tearing it up. And I grunted at him, and he looked up, and he started walking down this really beaten trail. And I remember shaking like a leaf, and I reached over and got the camera started. And at that moment, you'll see here in a second, that buck was just staring right at me, and I could not move. And it felt like eternity, but it was probably a couple seconds. And the buck finally just looked away and wasn't really paying attention as much. And that's when I was able to get my crossbow up. And you can see here that I took the shot, and it was really high, and it paralyzed him, got him in the spine, and it paralyzed him. He was probably at about 10 yards. And I didn't think about moving my crosshairs lower because of how close he was and everything and the projection. I didn't think about all that stuff then, but and I was just ecstatic about that.
Dog! I just shot my first buck. He stood at that edge forever, and I bleeded at him. He wasn't coming. He sat there, and I looked at him, saw a little sticker. I'm like, he's legal. It's 6:30.
I was like, I want to film for the rest of my life because I could look back on that hunt and I could watch it. And to this day, I still sometimes go back and look at it. So fast forward, that was my senior year. I went to college, and then I came home after I graduated. And year 2021, I'm like, I'm going to go back to self-filming, but I want to produce these on YouTube because I found out that you could. So I started talking to my friend Tim Palmer. He has a channel called Buckin' Obsessed. And he knows guys from Whitetail Adrenaline, and he knows hunting public guys and stuff. So he's very into the community there, self-filming and producing videos on YouTube and all that. And so I was getting advice from him, and he was trying to give me advice and stuff because I was really, really new at it. And I was posting videos of whole seasons and stuff, and nobody was really watching it. And so I was learning different things, and I appreciate the mentorship of him. And I shot a doe that year with my crossbow, got that on video. That was pretty cool.
Nailed that sucker.
I recovered this nice doe today. She came in about 4 o'clock, and deer were definitely moving today. And she came in about 25 yards, and this is my second deer with my bow. And it ain't a buck and it ain't big. And at hunting with a passion, we're not big. Like, yeah, we'll shoot trophy deer, but you know, we get what goes in the freezer, and that's all that matters, is getting meat and everything. And then shot a buck during the rifle season. I left my camera at home for that hunt. And then Tim was like, well, why don't you start an Instagram, and like, you know, that way people can see it from Instagram and go to your YouTube. And he goes, you got to come up with a name of it. I'm like, okay. So I start pilling around with it. I'm like, okay, because it was Bird Outdoors is what it was called. I'm like, I got to come up with a name. And I'm like, you know, I have a passion for hunting, but I also have a passion for God. And so I kind of want to make a Christian, clean YouTube channel. And so I was like, hunting's my passion, so let's just call it Hunting with a Passion. And so that's what we called it, and that's what we started our Instagram and YouTube with. And I moved to central Pennsylvania in 22 and was able to capture several hunts that year. My buck that I shot, which was a wild one. If you haven't seen that, go check it out from last year.
Missed.
We're up there. Couple buck coming over here, one, and then two more little smaller ones behind it. I think it was about a 6. They're on each side.
It better be a 6.
That's what it seemed like. Struggled a little bit pulling back, and I was starting to shake.
Pointing the arrow there.
And then I finally got it pulled back, and it was right here lined up. A little bit of a branch kind of in the way, so I had to go around the branch a little bit, but he was almost getting out of sight, so, or out of like where the branches would have been really bad. So just trying to hurry, got it pulled back, got him lined up, shot, and he kind of walked us and stood there, and I was like, oh man, I missed. And then Seth here got him, so
yeah,
we still got him.
I was like, I'm not letting her miss a nice buck like this.
I was really hoping he would. I was hoping that.
So,
he had his sights on him.
I came
to
be the cameraman, not expecting to shoot, but I brought my bow just in case.
Amy was supposed to be hunting. She missed. Thankfully, I was there filming and hunting at the same time. And then she ended up coming up to bat again and getting a decent doe. Her first deer. Got that all on film, and I was like,
oh, nailed him. What a shot.
Yes. Let me see the tree.
Oh, he's going, he's going. Get an arrow in, get an arrow in.
And I was like, I love putting this stuff together, because I look back being that kid, and by no means am I famous or viral or anything like that, but I look back to where I was as that 17, 16-year-old kid just playing around with videos. And if you would have told me that I am where I am today, I would not have believed you, because I was like, there's no way that I could, you know, nobody would care about what I make. And, like, nobody would care or watch the videos that I made. And the Lord's blessed us, and I've been extremely blessed with friends and people that have let me come hunt with them and stuff. And I'm not where I would like to be, but, you know, I'm just going to keep plugging away and keep pursuing the passion of hunting and keeping God at the forefront. But this past year, I was talking to Tim, and I'm like, Tim, I was very discouraged because I only had like 10 followers at the beginning of 2023. I was like, Tim, I want to get a ton of followers this year. Like, what do I do? And he's like, you know, build your Instagram page, get people to know you, you know, post everything you're doing. That way they get familiar with you as a person, and then they'll be interested in your page. And so I tried doing that, and everything we did from hiking this year to spending time with family, cool things that we did as a family, my son being born and all that, I just kept people up to date. And God's blessed us this year. We got 90 new followers, but I'm just extremely thankful and blessed to be able to do this and have the opportunity to at least try it. And I'm hoping to be out there, and there's a kid that was me that, you know, wants to pursue his dreams, that has a passion for whatever, that says, you know, I may be just a dumb kid, but I can learn a lot, and I can pursue something that I want to try. I've been wanting to try this forever and finally get down to it and do it. And so that's how Hunting with a Passion got started. This year I brought in Jeremiah Collier. I've known him since 2019 actually. Yeah, 2019. And we met in Tennessee where I worked there for a couple summers. And he has a huge collection of animals he's killed. He's been hunting since he was a kid. He's killed big bucks. This year he killed a big 10-point. He kills ducks. He hunts waterfowl. He turkey hunts. He's very well rounded in the sport of hunting. So I was super pumped when he said he'd come on and join me. And he's given me awesome advice, and we've been able to help each other out in different things. We went on an Indiana hunt this year. That was awesome. We're hoping to do it again next year and just expand our hunting more and learn a lot more of out-of-state hunting. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the first episode of Campfire Stories. Hope you enjoyed some of the old film that I put on here from the hunt when I was first buck I killed. So thank you for joining episode 1 of Campfire Stories, and we will see you on the next one.